All right, everybody, I am here with our special guest for today, and we're just going to really go over the new seller program we have started. So I'll let you kind of take over. Can you just introduce yourself and the market you cover?
Sure. My name is April Bohling. I am a real estate agent and a team leader, and I am based out of Lincoln, Nebraska. So we primarily focus our business within Lincoln and then the surrounding communities. And of course, sometimes we go up and service Omaha as well. But generally speaking, Lincoln is where we conduct the majority of our business.
Exciting stuff. So, well, let's
Mhm.
just jump right into it, April. Can we just kind of start off and tell us what kind of leads or what kind of opportunities were you kind of hoping to start generating once we first started talking about this seller
Well,
program?
as you know, I mean, you and I have been working together for quite a while now, and my focus has always been on generating listing leads. Those who control the listings control the market. So, while we do have an online presence to generate buyer leads, I really wanted to shift that and find out how can we get ourselves in front of sellers. And we've tested a variety of methods and been very successful at them. But when you approached me about having a individual call out and off of lists that you guys generate, it was a no-brainer. Like, okay, so people generally don't begin to think about listing their house by searching online. So unlike buyers start their search online, but home sellers, they don't do that. Generally, it's by word of mouth, by previous agents following up with them, or they just don't even know where to start. So when we talked about it, it's just like, well, yeah, we're going to cold call neighborhoods, but people are considering selling. So let's just get in front of them. Let's start those conversations right away.
Try to be the first ones to
Yeah,
have that conversation with them about selling. Yeah, I love it.
exactly.
So what do you think is kind of the biggest challenge when it comes to possibly utilizing a strategy like this or cold calling in general? Like, can you give us some feedback on
I
that?
mean, yeah, of course, it's a numbers game. I mean, you're literally calling down the road, down the street of houses, seeing who wants to sell. So inventory is already limited. People are staying in their houses a little bit longer right now. So it's you're doing a higher volume of calls. And that's why I appreciate what you've set up for me, is because for me to sit down and make that volume of calls daily is just not sustainable for my business. So why
Mhm.
this works so well for me is because you have that preliminary conversation. Hey, have you thought about selling your house? Home values have changed. I have an expert that would just love to provide a free market analysis for you, or whatever that conversation sounds like. It gets handed to me, and the motivation may be immediate. They might have a need to sell right away, or they're just curious about their home value. But either way, it gives me the opportunity to get in front of them first and establish that relationship, and stay in front of them, so potentially down the road I have the opportunity to provide my services later.
I love that. Yeah, no, obviously these deals we'd love to close in a week, but that's just not how it is.
Right. Right.
So, I'm glad that you can appreciate like, hey, some of these may be ready to go as we experience right away, and some of them need a little bit of time, but they're definitely a really solid
Right.
opportunity. So I guess can we just kind of go into like what are the results? I know we kind of started this here about a month and a half ago. What kind of results have you got in the last 30-ish days? Can you go over
Well,
that and the quality of the
I
leads?
as far as like the amount of leads that have been sent my way, it was actually double or maybe even a little bit more than what I was anticipating, just because the quality of lead that you were going to be sending me wasn't just, oh, I talked to this person. They wanted, like, you did a really good job of like, look, they actually want a market analysis and here's why, or this is their motivation. And so, maybe we're not getting, 50 leads a month, but we did get 12. And I was expecting 4 or 5 warm leads. So that's phenomenal. And, we already have a listing signed with one client already. We have another one that's coming up. And those are the ones that are just like in the near pipeline. That's not even counting the ones who said, yeah, I want to look at fall, or
Mhm.
I want this price. Is this possible? So there's definitely a pipeline that's being generated here for just consistent lead flow or listing flow regularly, which is, I mean, our ultimate goal. We don't want to have 4 or 5. Well, I mean, I do want 4 or 5 listings at once, but we don't want it to be like, a listing and then we drop off for a while and nothing happens. Like, the consistent lead flow is what we are really enjoying with this.
Yeah, because I think it'll start to really compound. Obviously, we're only like a month in, but after we do this for 6 to 12 months, like you said, it'll kind of start compounding of, oh, the people that a few months ago said now it's time to sell, now they're ready to sell, and it'll kind of start adding on top of itself. So you do get to the point where it's like four or five,
Right.
compounded on the same. Could you go into a little bit as far as like production wise? How much do you think that, we've generated, and how, like, if we keep this pace, what do you think this could kind of end up with at the end of
Yeah.
the year?
So with the two listings that we have in the pipeline, you guys can knock it out of the park, well above our market average. So that would be well over $1.2 million in or volume. So I mean, commission wise, I mean that's pretty good as far as our GCI goes, and our ROI obviously as well. Um, so yeah, that's about $1.2 million
Awesome.
per month is great.
Yeah, and let's keep that up. Hopefully we can add, our goal will be hopefully 6 to 12 million. That's kind of a good starting point, and from
Right.
there we can kind of tweak it. So
Mhm.
based off that, and kind of that kind of leads into the next question, is like, generating these opportunities is one thing. What I've noticed with you and your team is you guys are actually really good at what you guys do and have that expertise. So that goes into the conversion rate, right?
Mhm.
Because it's not just generating a lead, but like, can you convert these? So what would be your biggest tips for anybody who's approaching possibly like circle prospecting or joining our program and having us kind of build
Right.
this all out for them? What would be your best tips on converting these opportunities into actually listing appointments and then actually into listings themselves,
I
close
think
deals?
the biggest conversion rate or how I'm so successful at this is because once I get those names to me, I don't just look up their house, right? I obviously like go and establish the value, find out everything about the house that I can, but I go out and I try to find as much as I can about the homeowner. So if I'm like Googling their name, going on social media profiles, I want to know everything about this person because when I pick up the phone and call them, I can establish rapport so much easier with them. It's like I'm talking to someone that I know, and I don't come across salesy. I come across as someone that is genuinely interested in them because I genuinely am. And that just sets you apart from the rest. It really does.
And making it seem like you actually put some time, you care, you're not just, it's not just a number for you. You've actually done some research, and
Yeah.
it kind of
Exactly.
goes
So by
in.
the time I'm going over to their house, and doing, a strategy session with them on the best way to sell their house, I'm able to talk about their family or their activities or what they have going on with ease because they've already opened up to me about a lot of the stuff that they have going on in their life.
Which is important because usually selling a property, yes, there's the financial aspect of it, but there's usually a deeper lining
Mhm.
motivation on why they want to sell. And if you
Yep.
know those other things, then they can kind of help
Yep.
you with that
If
conversation.
if I'm not getting them on the phone initially, I mean, I've had people brush me off. I send a handwritten note to them. And I've gotten callbacks just based on that. So it truly is a personal experience. And because, like we said earlier, you're not sending me a bunch of low quality leads. These are all high quality leads. It's worth the time and investment of
Mm,
our time to spend to nurture these people and try to get them to talk to us.
yeah, more targeted approach versus just trying to send out like maybe 1,000 mailers. Now
Mhm.
hey, this person, we've had a conversation.
Yeah,
It'll be
it's a
worth.
stamp. I personally address it. I
I
have
love
a
that.
seal with my logo on it. So it's definitely something if you got it in the mail, you would be interested in what someone sent you.
Very cool. It kind of sticks out. I love it.
Mhm.
So, what, based off your experience so far, what type of agent do you think could possibly benefit from a program like this?
Yeah, so definitely someone that is willing to play the long game. If you're looking for something quick and easy, this is not the program for you. You might have some shiny new leads that come in initially, but you have to be willing to put in the work. And if you're willing to do that, it's going to pay you back tenfold. I would say this would be a perfect program for an agent that is busy. And so they are wanting to hand off the responsibility of getting that initial contact sent to someone else and ready to take on those leads immediately. Like that's my biggest piece of advice is a lot of people say, call me tomorrow. Don't wait till the next day, call them the same day
Mhm.
and make that a priority.
Yeah.
Uh, so the type of agent that, realizes the value and what's been delivered to them.
I love it. And yeah, I like how you said that because I definitely am a firm believer like the money is in the follow-up. I think we can all agree we've had a few deals where it's like one call, amazing, you can close the deal off that. But
Mhm.
far and few between. Most of them require some kind of follow-up and that personal touch.
Mhm.
So cool.
Absolutely.
What would you say to anybody on the fence of possibly wanting to try this out, partner up with us? Like, what would you tell them, or any other real estate professional?
Just try it. What do you have to lose? I mean, really, I mean, you always have to diversify your business. You always have to be willing to try new things. This is an amazing opportunity. So if it's something that you've been presented with it, I would jump on 100% right away.
Give it a shot. I love it. Well, thanks, April. I guess we'll just end it there. Thanks for jumping on and speaking
You
the
are
good
so
words. So
welcome. Yeah, good luck. I'll talk to you later.